This isn't just a story, it's the kind you'll think about at 2 a.m. If you're ready for the truth they never saw coming, hit that subscribe button now. And if something hits home, drop a like and tell me your thoughts in the comments, because stories like this deserve to be heard. 3 a.m., the hum of my Phoenix apartment's heater woke me, blending with the soft patter of desert rain against the window. I didn't hear the floorboards creak, didn't sense my sister Madison slipping into my room, her shadow gliding across the wall. She lifted my wallet from the nightstand, plucked my business credit card, and vanished into the night. By dawn, $18,500 was gone, first-class tickets to Paris, a suite at Lou Bristol, sapphire earrings from Cartier, Louis Vuitton bags, bottles of Dom Perignon, a spree of decadence she'd craved but never earned. A week later, she sauntered through my door, her skin glowing from French sun, draped in silk, smirking like she'd just left a yoga retreat. My father, David Harper, glanced at me, his eyes narrowing. "Stop acting like she'd touch your money, Charlotte." I smiled, a slow, sharp curve, because that card wasn't ordinary, it was my trap, and she'd sprung it. My phone's glow jolted me awake, its buzz relentless against the dark. Groggy, I grabbed it, the screen a cascade of bank alerts, each one a cold spike in my chest. $4,800, Air France, Paris. $3,200, Lou Bristol Hotel. $2,700, Cartier, Champs-Élysées. $1,500, Le Cinq Restaurant. Over a dozen charges, stamped between 3:07 and 3:35 a.m., totaling $18,500. My mind scrambled, refusing the truth. No hack, my card was in my wallet, or should have been. I stumbled to my desk, the hardwood cold under my feet, and yanked open the drawer. My wallet lay unzipped, the business card slot empty, a taunting void. A sour knot twisted in my gut. I lived with one person, Madison, my 23-year-old sister, crashing here for 2 months after a fallout with her roommate. Her stay was temporary, she'd said, but she'd settled in, empty coffee cups on my counter, her laundry in my hamper, her Uber rides on my tab because buses stress her out. I checked her room, the door ajar, bed untouched, sheets crisp as if staged. The bathroom was dark, the kitchen silent. Then I saw the front door, a sliver of hallway light seeping through, not fully latched. My pulse hammered. By sunrise, her Instagram story confirmed it, Madison in a velvet beret, sipping champagne at Phoenix Sky Harbor's first-class lounge, arm in arm with our cousin Brittany, her accomplice in every reckless scheme. A selfie with Paris boarding passes, captioned, "Paris, darling. Live your truth." $18,500, drained from the business account of my cybersecurity consulting firm, built over 4 years of sleepless nights. I froze the card, filed a fraud report, and sat at my kitchen table, the fridge's hum mocking my calm. Rage simmered, but beneath it, a cold certainty grew. I knew how this would play out. Madison would deny it, David would defend her, and I'd be the villain. But this time I wasn't arguing. This time I'd make them see. Madison wasn't just my sister, she was the family's untouchable star. Since she was born, she got what she wanted, no matter the cost. At 10, she demanded a pony, David sold his old truck to buy it. I, at 12, saved for a laptop by tutoring, only to hear, "Charlotte's fine, she's responsible." My straight A's were expected, Madison's C's were progress. At 16, I worked retail to afford gas, Madison got a new phone because she needs to stay connected. By 25, I had this Phoenix apartment, a corporate IT job, and my side hustle, Harper Tech, my consulting firm. Madison, at 23, had cycled through photography school, too restrictive, a boutique job, bad vibes, and endless gig apps, each abandoned when effort kicked in. Who paid her rent when she forgot to budget? Who covered her groceries when she was between gigs? Who co-signed her last credit card when banks laughed at her history? Me, always me. To Madison, it wasn't generosity, it was family duty, a one-way street. 2 months ago, she called at 1 a.m., sobbing about her roommate's toxic energy. I let her move in, against my gut, thinking it'd be days. Days became weeks, then months. She called my apartment our space, drank my almond milk, ordered $200 skincare on my Wi-Fi. When I asked how she paid, she'd wink, "I've got it covered." Warning signs piled up, parcels of designer boots, a cashmere scarf, candles that cost more than my electric bill. Then, the night before the theft, I overheard her whispering to Brittany on FaceTime, their giggles sharp, plotting a big escape. I brushed it off. Madison had $50 to her name. How far could she go? I should have known. In our family, Madison's dreams always found a wallet, usually mine. I don't accuse without proof, not with Madison's knack for dodging blame. She doesn't steal, she makes mistakes, and David's there to call it family drama. So, I built my case like a client project. First, my building's security footage, thanks to my neighborly tech fixes for the manager. At 3:12 a.m., Madison crept down the hall, my wallet tucked under her arm, a duffel bag trailing. Brittany followed, phone glowing, smirking like they'd cracked a safe. They slipped into an Uber, taillights fading into the dark. Instagram was next. Madison's story lingered, unlike Brittany's deleted posts. A 4:15 a.m. video, Madison toasting in Air France's lounge, Paris tickets fanned out, captioned, "Chasing Dreams." The ace was my card, a HarperTech business card, linked to my custom tracking software. Every charge was logged, time, merchant, GPS coordinates. I traced her path, Phoenix to Paris, hotel to boutique, restaurant to jeweler. I called Lou Bristol and Cartier, posing as a fraud investigator. Both sent security stills, Madison swiping my card, her smile smug, bags piling at her feet. The evidence was ironclad, footage, screenshots, receipts, a digital trail she couldn't erase. But David would still defend her, I knew it. Confronting them head-on would backfire, Madison's tears, David's lectures. I needed a stage, my stage. A dinner at my apartment, neutral ground, where I'd control the rhythm. I'd bait them with comfort, Madison's favorite sashimi, David's preferred Merlot, luring them into thinking I'd softened. They'd come, smug, expecting me to cave. They wouldn't see the blade until it dropped. I built a presentation, not a rant, a sleek deck, each slide a nail. Security footage of Madison's 3 a.m. theft. Her Instagram posts, timestamps aligned with charges. Vendor stills of her swiping my card in Paris. A transaction log, geotagged, precise. I rehearsed, not the words, but the pacing, start light, let them relax, then strike. The night before, I didn't sleep, my mind racing through scenarios, Madison bolting, David shouting, both dismissing me. But this wasn't about their reaction, it was about rewriting the family script. I texted Madison, dinner tomorrow, 7 o'clock, my place. Sashimi. Bring Dad, let's talk. Her reply was instant, sushi? Count me in. David's came later, good to see you're reasonable. We'll be there. I closed my phone, the desert air heavy through the window, and checked my deck one last time. Tomorrow, the dynamic that drained me would burn. They arrived on time, Madison in a new silk scarf, Paris bought, no doubt, swaying like she owned the room. David followed, his eyes scanning my apartment, already judging. The table gleamed with sashimi platters, wine glasses catching the chandelier's glow. We ate, small talk masking the tension, Madison chattering about Paris vibes, David nodding. Then, I leaned back, voice calm. So, about the $18,500 you took from my business card? Madison's chopsticks froze, her laugh sharp. Charlotte, seriously? I didn't touch your money. You're paranoid. David's fork clinked. Enough. You've always had it out for her. I smiled, slow, deliberate. No more pretending. I opened my laptop, angled it toward them. Slide 1, Madison in my hallway, 3:12 a.m., wallet in hand, Brittany trailing. David's jaw tightened, Madison's eyes widened. Slide 2, her Instagram, champagne in the Air France lounge, 4:15 a.m. Slide 3, her swiping my card at Cartier, earrings glinting, time-stamped. Want more? I asked, voice steady, her flinch my reward. David started, this is. No, I cut in. You said I was pretending. Look. Final slide, the transaction log, every charge mapped, Paris, $18,500, undeniable. I froze the card, I said. Filed a fraud report. The police have this. Detective Laura Bennett's waiting. Madison's face paled, her voice a whisper. You called the cops? You stole from my business, I said. My livelihood. You broke the law. David slammed his glass down. Family doesn't do this. Family? I laughed, sharp. The family that let her drain me for years? That told me to get over her crashing your car, her Bali trip, her jobless months? Madison's voice cracked. I'll pay you back. No, you won't, I said. You can't. Pack your things. You're out tonight. To David, and you're not welcome until you admit what she did. I slid an envelope across the table, police report, bank case number, transaction list. Test me, I said. Call Detective Bennett. Madison shoved her chair back, the screech piercing. You're destroying me. No, I said, pointing to the door. You did that. I'm saving myself. She stormed to the guest room, slamming drawers. David stared at the envelope, then stood, muttering, "You're cruel," and followed her out. The door's slam was a release, my apartment silent, mine again. For 48 hours, my phone buzzed, Madison's texts, "You're jealous, you'll regret this." Voicemails, her sobbing, then screaming, "You've ruined me." David's calls piled up, ignored. Susan, my mother, texted, "Drop the charges. She's your sister." I didn't reply, I'd carried them too long. Detective Bennett called. Madison faced two choices, repay $18,500 and admit guilt, or face charges. I braced for more pleas, but silence followed, heavy, ominous. Then Brittany called, her voice syrupy. Madison's a mess. This could ruin her. I cut in, delete your Paris posts before the police ask who funded your ticket. Click, silence. Susan appeared next, unannounced, her scarf too tight, eyes red. They're in a motel, she said. You've shamed her. She shamed herself, I said. $18,500 in documented theft. Family stays private, Susan pleaded. It's public because she made it public, I said. Tell David to admit it, or he's out too. She left, wordless, the door clicking shut. The family fractured, David, Susan, Brittany, and their allies branded me heartless. My Aunt Karen and Uncle Michael rallied behind me. Michael texted, "You broke the cycle." Proud. 2 weeks later, Madison showed up, no silk, just a hoodie, eyes hollow. They'll drop it if I pay in 6 months, she said. Tell them you're okay with it. Payments go through my lawyer, I said. No deals. Sign the admission or face court. She glared, then left, her steps heavy. 3 months later, the case closed, Madison paid $18,500, source unknown, and signed the admission, a fraud charge now on her record. David avoided me. At a gas station, he muttered, "Hope you're happy," and walked off. I was, not for winning, but for reclaiming myself. Madison's Instagram shifted, no Paris, just coffee shop selfies, captions about new beginnings. I didn't care, it wasn't redemption, just consequences catching up. My apartment's quiet now, no midnight doors, no stolen milk. Harpertech thrives, my bills mine alone. Karen sent a cactus with a note, "For your new roots." Michael shared a podcast on toxic families. At a market, I passed Brittany, she froze, I smiled, kept walking. Family gathering split, David's side excludes me, mine excludes them. It's heavy, but freeing. I don't check my accounts at 3 a.m. anymore. If they try again, Madison, David, anyone, one word suffices, no. I'm not their safety net, not their ATM. I'm Charlotte, and this life is mine. And if you think this story hit deep, the next one will leave you speechless. Subscribe now, before you miss it. And if this made you feel something, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it too.